What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Stab 8 and what scenes maybe in Scream 5 or Scream 2022 could be part of it. So hopefully this is going up the right time that I wanted to. We just talked about, maybe yesterday, maybe a few days ago, about Sam and hallucinations in terms of the trailers, in terms of the featurettes, and what I'm trying to kind of do is almost give them credit or give them like, okay, maybe I understand what you're saying when you say that the trailer has a lot of misdirects. In my opinion, like, obviously there's just things that could be maybe filmed out of order, or like you have to like think about it for a couple seconds in order to realize that there are like scenes that are split off from each other or words that are split off from each other. Like, obviously there's that, but then there's the literal, like, not like, I guess those are misdirects, but then there's the literal misdirects of, okay, well, is Sam literally making some of this stuff up? Like, we're seeing these scenes and it's literally her imagination. That's one thing. The other thing is, well, you know, Stab 8 very likely is going to be in this movie. Now, you know, I think I'm like well versed on some things Scream, and I'm not well versed on other things, and one of them that I would say I'm a little not well versed on is Stab, and also the, I guess, participation mainly of the next Stab movie, like Stab 8, in this Scream. I don't remember anybody, like, declaring if it was going to happen, but I know I've seen videos around pretty confident, like, it's going to be in there. And I also feel like in terms of honoring the legacy of Scream, you got to at least mention Stab, or you got to do something with Stab, right? And so, you know, is any of the trailers or featurettes that we've seen before, does any of that have to do with Stab? I feel like the assumption has already kind of been made that the metallic Ghostface mask has something to do with Stab. I feel like that's right. And we talked about this on the breaking down like every, you know, moment of the TV spots that we did over the weekend. They really want you to believe that the metallic Ghostface, right? Because you see the metallic Ghostface, and then there's like a pull-out, like there's a pull-out shot where like you just see more of them, and they have the flamethrower, and then the next scene you see is Amber on fire. Now, again, we talked about it a couple times already, like it seems like the gas stove, like the stove is on behind her. That probably has to do with why she gets lit up on fire, not the flamethrower. And I think a lot of people, you know, have come to that, you know, assumption on their own as well. So what's with that metallic Ghostface? What's with the flamethrower? I do feel like that's probably a play on Ghostface, and that's a play on Stab. So I think that, and you know, he's got the Letterman jacket, which they also, I think it was on Scream's official Twitter account, right? Where you know how they basically are like mocking or kind of like digging into each character when they showed their character poster. I believe to Chad, they literally talked about the Letterman jacket. So it's like, you really want people, I think honestly that was on purpose. You want people to focus in on his jacket because the metallic Ghostface also has the same one. So it's like, well, why does he? Well, he could, and again, like, it doesn't have to be Stab 8. I'm not saying it has to be, right? Because it could be something else. It could be he kills Chad and then he takes his jacket right after and he swaps masks for some reason. Maybe he does it because of the fire. I honestly, I don't know for sure, and I don't even know if that makes sense, but like that could definitely be a way. But one thing I want to throw out there, okay, and this again I don't think is anything massively new, but I want to try to connect them, right? The Woodsboro Film Club, I believe that is what they call the Facebook page. Now, this is a club of like a group, right? This is a Facebook group where they wanted us to come in and they wanted us to speculate and they wanted us to discuss the movie, okay? I feel like the name is kind of important. I also feel like if you want to take it in the metallic Ghostface and the flamethrower, I guess what I'm trying to say, I almost feel like they're going to do something in this movie where there is literally a Woodsboro Film Club, like that's going to be the name, and they study and they like have knowledge of maybe the past Scream movies, and they also have knowledge of the Stab movies, and maybe they're literally making like a fan film. I feel like that would make sense. I feel like, you know, fan films, I think were a little bit more happening probably like towards the earlier times of YouTube, so maybe like 7 to 10 years ago. Funny enough, around the time of Scream 4. Not so much now, but it does still happen, but it's just not in its like, you know, gigantic stage. So maybe that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make the next Stab movie, or it's like kind of an informal Stab movie. Stab 8 isn't from, say, the production company in the movies that we're making, the Stab films. Maybe it's a different company, or not even a company, it's just a group of students or a group of people, because I guess it doesn't have to be students, that are doing this. We know basically from everything that's happened, like Mindy, right? Mindy Meeks. And we also know, again, from the, I guess, mocking them in terms of the posters, that she knows all the rules. I think the thing with her was, like, you know the rules, but that doesn't mean you're going to survive. Something along those lines. So I feel like we can make the assumption Mindy is this movie's Kirby or Randy, right? That's who she is. She could have something to do with it. And I feel like, again, if we want to focus on Chad's jacket, if that's what they want us to focus on, then why can't it actually just be Chad? In fact, I think when I made the TV ad, video on my channel, somebody even said, like, that could easily just be Chad, like, having fun, or, like, doing some sort of joke or prank with a flamethrower, and almost like mocking. Maybe it's mocking Ghostface, maybe it's not, maybe it's mocking the past films, maybe it's not, but, like, they're doing something there. I think that makes a lot of sense, because, again, I feel like the way the trailer or the ads or whatever, right, the way they make that, or the way they want that to make us think, because, again, just simple misdirection is you see the Ghostface, you see the flamethrower, and then you see Amber on fire. So, like, you're supposed to link, and even if you don't want to link her being on fire to that flamethrower, you're still supposed to equate fire and fire. You know what I mean? Like, it's not maybe that exact scene. In fact, I don't think it can be, because the metallic Ghostface looks like he's outside, right? But, like, you maybe assume, oh, maybe somebody else gets their hand on the flamethrower at some point and uses it, right? That's, again, like, I think that's kind of the mind games they're trying to make you feel. But I honestly feel like, in all reality, we may be onto it. The metallic face could just simply be kind of a play on Ghostface himself, or the mask itself, is just doing it almost as like a prank or a joke or a fan film or whatever, right? And by the way, it doesn't even have to be a big scene. Like, this could easily just be some section of the movie where there is this Ghostface with a flamethrower blowing, and there's nobody even there, right? But they're just, like, lighting something on fire, and, like, it's being recorded, and, like, they're trying to make, like, a fan film. And I think that honestly makes a lot of sense. Or it could literally be a scene from a Stab 8. Like, I know maybe I'm leaning too hard into the film club thing, but again, I really think there's a reason why it's called that Facebook group, and there's a reason why they wanted it like that, where I feel like that's going to play into the movie as well. But even if it's not, even if that was just kind of pointless and just done because, like, the name sounded cool, which it is, then it could easily just be, like, an actual part of the movie. I mean, they could do that. As long as, God, please don't make it be an opening. Don't do 4 again like that. And honestly, even besides that, I mean, stabs have always been used kind of sparingly in all of, I mean, in 2, like, it's very briefly, in 3, obviously, they're on, 3 is more centered on it. But even that, like, the scenes themselves, not really, or it's not from the actual movie itself. So I think they've always kind of handled it pretty well, except for maybe parts of 4. But I would like to see it. That makes sense to do it in 5. And again, that's another way they could say, hey, some of the now, for the Sam hallucination things, I had other examples. I mean, I think there's several scenes that maybe aren't, but maybe they could be something of just her, a figment of her imagination. For Stab, really, I don't have anything else, like any of the scenes that are, like, high danger moments of, like, Chad being chased or Vince right outside the bar. Like, none of that stuff I think is part of a fictional movie inside a movie. I think that just actually happened. So I feel like it's going to be a very limited thing, Stab, if it is even in the movie. And it could literally just be that metallic Ghostface in that one scene. However, maybe it's a 30-second scene for it, and, like, that's it. That's the entire thing. Because I don't know anything else. Like, the hospital is all real. Stu's house. Now, I do want to just say this. Let me just throw this in here. I know there are some people that have come up with the crazy theory, and it is crazy, and I kind of respect it. I just don't believe it. That, like, the entire movie is a ploy. Like, it's not real. And, like, they're all actors. Like, Sydney went back to being an actor. And so, like, basically, again, like, the entire movie isn't real. Like, Sam and Tara, they're literally characters in a fictional movie in the movie. So, like, the entire movie is Stab. Again, that's insane. I kind of respect it. I kind of like it. But there's 0% chance that's happening, in my opinion. You don't, like, it's a relaunch of Scream. It's a Scream movie with Ghostface. People that watch the originals are going to see it. People that have never seen it before are going to see it. If you think the entire movie is just a play on Stab and such a massive, misdirect, that like they're trying to get you to think that, or like that actually ends up happening and they pull the rug from under your feet. It would be insane, but it would be, I think, way too confusing and just like something that nobody would expect, including new people, and I don't even think you would do that to new people. So I just want to, I mean, I've seen a couple people, it's not even just one, I've seen a couple people mention it. I like the idea that all of these characters, like Vince, Chad, you know, just go down the list, right? See, I don't, like, Wes can't, right? Because he's the son of Judy, but like, I don't, or maybe he is, and maybe it's in the movie. I don't, like in Stab. I don't know. I mean, it definitely has grounds to it. You could definitely make it work. I just don't think they'll do it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on. If you want to follow me anywhere else, I have a Twitter, I have a second channel. I also have Patreon and YouTube memberships. Links for them all are in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next video.